It's John and Rachel, and we are jagging around with a favorite comedian that I know from Sirius Radio. Now I really know him, Pete Correale.
John's fanboying.
Hey, I love it, Johnny. I'm flattered, bro.
Here, we'll fist bump. There we go. You know that.
Boom. Yeah. That's it.
Guys,
That's
I'm
it.
here too. Yeah, good to see you.
No, absolutely.
Pete Correale, you're coming to Pittsburgh February 16th to the Oaks Theater, but that's the detail we'll give. Make sure we give at the end. But tell us a little bit about you. Like, you and Sebastian Maniscalco are killing.
Thanks. Yeah, I do a podcast with Sebastian Maniscalco for the viewers that might not know. We've been doing it. I'm doing it about 10 years now. And It's funny, because it's like now it's reached a point for both of us where we've had these great conversations where we're like, you know what? Because we don't really do current events or much. We just really, it's about our lives. And we were both like, get caught up in how cool it would be. Not so much our kids. I have one daughter. He has a son and daughter. But maybe like our great-grandkids or our grandkids when we're gone. How cool would it be to be like a 25-year-old guy and you want to know what your great-grandfather was all about? So you just go, you know what? All summer, I'm going to sit in the backyard at night with some beers and just listen to my great-grandfather. I mean, I would kill to be able to hear my great, So that's my excuse to try and get Sebastian to keep doing it, because he literally sold out Madison Square Garden 6 nights in a row. So he doesn't really need to do it anymore. I'm like, it's for your great-grandkids.
That's a good Italian guilt trip. But speaking of, podcasts are synonymous, right? But podcasts are so synonymous with comedy anymore. People want to laugh and they want other ways of seeing. They want more of comedic humor, so they go to podcasts. But they also love seeing people like you do stand-up. So what has that been like, where we're living in a world now where it is so different, right? There's nothing like being on stage, right?
No, there is nothing being like being on stage. But what is real different for me and Sebastian specifically, for example, is his fan base is like the whole country, seemingly. Mine is the podcast. So like when I come up, I'll say something funny on the podcast. So then when I go on stage, if I bring that thing that I riffed to the stage, they know it because they're all there because they're podcast fans. Where when he does it, they're like, oh, he's got a new bit. Because his fan base is beyond the podcast, but it's interesting, you always aspire to have people come see you as a comedian. And then when they finally do come see you, you're up there and like they give you sometimes a standing ovation before I even start. And part of you is so grateful for that, but another part of you is like, oh, because of the podcast, I wanted this to be pure about stand-up, and if they could, like my wife would say, Guy, be glad they're there at all. Okay.
Prep us. If we were to meet you, like what are our don'ts? Like, don't ask you about what, or what would we want to know?
Geez, that's an interesting question. What not to do? I guess don't tell me you're a fan of Biden. As long as you don't do that, we'll be okay. Okay. So, okay, and that's not even political. That's just the age thing. How crazy it is. No, you know what? I also like if you tell me you don't drink, I'd be like, all right, well, nice to meet you. That speaks volumes. At the end of the day, it's like I don't want to sound like some humble guy just on purpose, but it really, I don't like when you come up to me just because I'm the comedian. Oh, there's the comedian. Like that. That's like. But if you know me and you come up, hey Pete, I got a joke. That's a little different because clearly you're a fan of me, so that I don't mind as much. But I try to meet everybody after the show. I go up and I have everybody come up if they want, and I say hello, and they really appreciate it. But some of them, like, it's really funny. There'll be like a line of people that you see. You just waited on it, and there's a line behind you, and you go, I got to tell you something so funny, man. Me and Carol were having to. And I'm like, do you not see that line? Yeah.
No, that is so true. Listen, that's my life with the conversation. I love to just talk, and John will say Rachel will not walk away from a conversation. So I am that person.
Well, Rachel's funny. I was telling Sebastian recently about a guy I know, neighbor, who talks so much that I go, you have to do the back away, otherwise he'll keep going. So you got, and I go, but the guy never is weirded out that I'm backing away, and I go, I think it's because everybody in his life backs away.
Yeah,
so
I get
so
it.
Rachel, if they're all backpedaling on you, you must be like, oh, that's just what people do. But no, they're only doing it to you, Rach.
Right, you get me. You get me.
I wouldn't walk away.
The relationship.
I wouldn't walk away from you. You seem great, Rach. I wouldn't walk away.
Thank you.
You are coming to Pittsburgh February 16th,
8 o'clock.
The 8 o'clock Oaks Theater. We will be there for sure. All you other Jags should be there. Pete, give a good Pittsburgh invite to everybody that's watching.
Listen, anyone in the Pittsburgh area, okay? I know your like human mascot is Billy Gardell. You Google, you get a hold of Billy Gardell and ask him who his favorite comedian is. If he don't say me, then the show's free. All right, that's how tight me and Billy Gardell. And if that ain't enough, I just did a show last week in Arizona, and TJ Watt came backstage to meet me. All right, I am bleeding Pittsburgh. It's oozing off of me.
You just got a sold out crowd, brother. You are golden.
That's it. That's it. If I knew one of the Hines family members, it would be a triple crowd, right? Everybody come to my show, you Jagoffs.